Well, as allies to Jews, it's mostly about building loving and close relationship to Jews. And the biggest part of the work is the work with the allies. How they can actually reach out and build these relationships. And in order to do that, we need to clean up all the messages and all the things we heard and how Jewish oppression had impacted us and our lives as allies. So, I can say a couple things what we do. We have these meetings where we gather with allies, where we talk about the messages we've been listened to, like in education, in churches and families, all the prejudice and things we heard about Jews. And we do the work to claim our own groups, our own religion and nationality and families, to be totally proud as what we are and who we are. Because that enables us to reach out to other groups. And even more, it enables us and supports us to reach out for Jews. And as allies, I think it's very important to learn about the history, learn about the history of Jewish oppression in my country, in my church, in my family, what happened, what did people say, and what were the injustice things that happened to Jews. And then talk about that. And be very outspoken about what I learned. Because the silencing is so key to Jewish oppression, that people do not talk about this or feel guilty or ashamed or all of that. It's very contradicting if we talk about what we learned. And then I think there needs to be a balance between all the joyful cultural things and the learning and talking about the oppression and the Holocaust and the war and all the suffering. And it's also important to see a Jewish person as a Jew, but also as a person.
What we really like doing is a series so that we can work and build more and more trust in the possibility that you can actually talk about this and hear each other and have a repaired community or enhance your community actually through talking. And it's been really incredible because it spills over into other things. I've had one synagogue in particular, I remember, friends had stopped speaking with each other and now they're talking to each other, but also they started using similar processes to talk about race within their community, because it's a diverse community racially also, and about economics. And they've taken that model about how to talk and the trust that's already been built and used it in other places.
In Europe, a lot of people think anti-Semitism, that was the Holocaust. And there's been times where we've had the Holocaust like in our face in the newspapers every day. And it's important to me to show that Jewish oppression is not just what happened in the Second World War in Europe. It's also happening sometimes today. It's also happening with Jews that are alive today. And even so, Switzerland was a safe place for some of the Jews during the war. There's been a lot going on where Switzerland had policies that were very threatening and that were basically sending people back to the war. And there's a lot of stories that we still today need to listen to in order to clean up and to support allies like Gentiles, how to think about this time, how to deal with guilt and shame and blame in order to build a relationship with Jews.
In talking about it, you can actually have closer feelings. You may not agree, very often don't end up agreeing, but you still understand where each other are coming from and care more about each other, and that caring spills over into a healthier community in many other aspects.
We can show people how to build relationships, and that it's really about that, and how to build relationship with Jews and having fun. And it's all about prejudice, it's about feelings and some nasty feelings, some things we don't want to talk about it. But if we support each other, we can actually have fun doing this and feel connected. And I think that's one of the key things that we can teach with NCBI.